My name is Mike Fiedler, and I am the PyPI Safety and Security Engineer at the Python Software Foundation. The Python Software Foundation is a nonprofit organization that is geared towards helping sustain the Python programming language and create a welcoming environment for anybody who is new to Python. Fastly has been a savior for the main package service, PyPI. Fastly's generosity has kind of been acknowledged internally to form a program around it called Fast Forward that helps a lot of open source programs and other smaller nonprofits to sustain large volumes of traffic for their users over the years. We have clients downloading packages and asking for metadata at a rate of 100,000 requests per second sustained on average. Fastly provides our edge for pretty much all end user GET requests, and we could not sustain the amount of load that we get as a service all the way to our backend without a significant increase in cost. We can say 100,000 requests per second at Fastly equals to maybe about 500 to 1,000 requests per second on our origin. That's a 98 to 99% cache hit rate. And we leverage Fastly's ability to issue purges across the ecosystem within milliseconds when things are updated, so that way our end users can get the fresh data right after they've uploaded or submitted it to PyPI. No other CDN out there has been able to do something like that. Fastly's evolution of onboarding more security features has been very important for our sustainability long term. We've started onboarding the next generation web application firewall and have been leveraging it to shed traffic that we don't necessarily want. And it's proving to be an ongoing tool in our toolbox to help protect the wider community as a whole. One of the first parts that we adopted from the next-gen WAF is the ability to throw a browser challenge at a user to say, is this really a human? If you're running automated scripts, you are not a human. That has proven to be one of our easiest reactions in our incident management toolbox to say, we're getting hammered on this particular website page that shouldn't be automated by tools or by AI. The observability tools inside of Fastly give us some visibility as to, are these attacks persisting? Have they kind of eased off? Can we ease off our protections as well? After 30 years in the industry, I now have the ability to give back in a manner that is both meaningful and impactful to the end user community. There's not too many public services that are of this scale, and being able to work on that daily is exceedingly satisfying. To me, that's kind of a motivator to figure out new and innovative ways to combat those problems.